So what I was saying is it's easy to go into a meeting with a financial counselor and have them tell you, thanks for the text message. That's what caught me, man. So I appreciate you sending that. It's easy to go into a meeting with your financial counselor and, they do the little analysis about what your risk tolerance is. They say, oh man, I've got a high risk tolerance. And everybody can say that. And then when, crap hits the fan, that's when you really find out what your risk tolerance is. And I was spending way too much time last night on Reddit, just watching people's reactions. And people who are in the hedge fund, the excellent adventure, and in the TQQQs and the U pros are like, should I sell now? Should I sell now? And I'm sitting there thinking, you stupid idiots, you know the plan. You know that these type of corrections are going to happen. When you went in, everything looked rosy and you were like, oh man, everybody's making 50% returns a year. And you go in, and when you're in there, you're like, now should I sell? Should I sell? No, it's not the time to panic. It's just funny to me that people don't have the risk tolerance that they think they do when they're sitting in calm waters and say, oh yeah, man, I've got a high risk tolerance. So I've got a high risk tolerance. I've got a high risk tolerance. I've always had a high risk tolerance when it comes to investing. That's why for 30 something years, I was in the S&P 500, up and down, down and up and down, just dollar cost averaging into it. When everybody said, Bobby, you got to have bonds in your portfolio, I didn't have any bonds. I had the S&P 500. I was doing what Warren Buffett was telling me to do before I even knew there was a Warren Buffett. I don't think I knew of Warren Buffett in 1988 when I started putting into the S&P 500. I don't think I even knew about it. So, this is causing a lot of people to reassess their risk tolerance, which is good actually. And what happens is the sheep will sell out of their positions and they'll start panicking. And those who understand the risk will hold and, do what, basically what you should do is become Rumple. Well, who was it that took the nap? Was it Rumpelstiltskin? Or was he the little dude that, I can't remember, whatever. But anyway, remember the dude that took the nap or whatever for 100 years or so? Yeah, that's pretty much what you should do. Well, not for 100 years or you'll miss out on a lot of stuff. But really, if you have the ability to either use Lacello's Twin Vest to add money to the account or to dollar cost average, whatever's easier for you, now's the time to do it. Or if you've got a pool of money ready to be invested, now is the perfect time. There is no better time. Could it go down tomorrow? Yes, could it? It absolutely could. But it's just funny. And I don't mean it's funny. It's just that stocks and the stock market is the only market when prices go down, people panic. I've been looking at, and if any of y'all have this, tell me about it. I've been looking at the Oculus virtual reality thing and that boxing game. What is it? The thrill of whatever, thrill of something. Anyway, and it looks like so good. And it looks like, man, that helped me get my workout in. So I've been looking at those, and like you can get it at Walmart for $400 and something, where I'm buying it off Amazon for $299. Well, where am I going to buy it? I'm not going to buy it from Walmart for $400. I'm going to buy it for $299 off of Amazon. Or I'll even do a little more research and see if I can find a better price on it than that, or may find a used set off eBay or refurbished set somewhere for even less than that. That's the way I roll. I'm a couponer. I'm a discount seeker. When equities are down, that's a perfect time to, increase your positions. Now, it's not a good time to increase your positions on single stocks. I know that's why I've never really liked, and my aversion to single stocks. You put your money into Robinhood, and there's a chance that Robinhood goes out of business. There's a probability. There's a chance there that goes out of business. So, that's why I don't like the single company. But if I'm in an S&P 500 fund or the NASDAQ or something of that nature, I know that over the long term it's going to be fine. I just got to hold. I've always had to just hold. and add when it goes down and even add when it goes up. So this should not have taken anyone by surprise. Oh, but the relaxation technique that I use, I want you to try this as well. So, and turn off your net lid. And turn off your net lid for God's sakes. Just calm down a little bit. And what I want you to do is do this breathing technique that has really helped me over the last few days. Ready? I want you to breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. So go. And do it. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Count yourself. I want in through the nose 4. In through the nose 4. And then I want you to breathe out of your mouth for 8 counts. So go in 4, out. So where you can't breathe out no more for 8 counts. Then I want you to repeat that. In for 4, out for 8. In for 4, out for 8. Now, when this is particularly good is at night when you can't sleep. It's been helping me. So I got my CPAP mask on, right? But now I've got one that covers my nose and my mouth. So it's easier for me to do this. I'm breathing in for 4, out for 8. And when I do that about 5 or 6 times, I find that I'm in that sleepy state where I'm about to go out. So try it 5 or 6 times until you relax a little bit. Because here's the cool thing. In 100 years, you know my thoughts on 100 years. In 100 years from now, all of us are going to be dead. None of this will matter. None of this will matter. Not a thing that we're doing. So you got to put your emotions aside of fear and greed. You just got to do the prudent thing, which is to stay the course. That's all we do is stay the course. So let's look at the market today. So anyone got a question about relaxation? You got to, keep the 100-year rule in mind. 100 years, this isn't gonna matter. We're doing something that's for a longer term. Over the long term, we're gonna be fine. Just gonna be fine. So just do what we know to do. So the markets were down big last night. Everybody's panicking. Everybody's doing whatever. So what are we gonna do today? Well, let's look at the markets first. So we're down 1% in the E-minis. We're down 0.1%, much less in the NASDAQ, which is kind of cool. So do we care what Putin's doing? Well, we probably should, because when you have weak leadership, as we have in the United States, you've got a dictator type person, an authoritarian type KGB person like Putin. What's going to happen? Well, what Putin's going to do is he's going to go into Ukraine. He's going to see that we didn't do anything but slap his wrist. And so he's going to go into one of those other little countries around there. He'll take those over. Then he'll take more over. And then China will be watching, and then they'll say, oh, wow, look at the weak United States. So we'll take Taiwan over. So, it could become something that we'll get involved in at some point. This is how world wars actually begin, right? Is they're testing the resolve of the freedom fighters across the world. And they'll go in, take as much as they can until it gets to the point that we have to be involved. So if you had Trump doing his tweets right now, Putin would not be going into the Ukraine. Not a way on this earth that he would have done this under President Trump. No way in hell that this would have happened. But he sees Joe as very weak and ineffective, which he is. And the only thing that Joe makes me feel better about is that, his balance is worse than mine. When he's going upstairs and I'm going upstairs, his balance is much worse than mine. So that's what makes me feel. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying he's a weakling. He's perceived as weak. And when we're perceived as weak as a nation, it's not a good thing. If you've got children or grandchildren that are considering going into the military, talk them out of it. Talk them out of it. I never thought I'd say that, coming from a military family where my dad was in the Army, and I had 2 career Army over 20 years uncles, 2 of them in Korea and Vietnam. I never thought I'd say that, but we don't go into wars or to conflicts to win anymore. We pussyfoot. So we're pussyfooters now. That's not because of our military. The military is great, but we pussyfoot around. And we've got leaders that now don't go into to solve things and to take care of business. We just pussyfoot because we're much more concerned about our military and its carbon footprint than we are making sure that it gets the job done. So we'd rather them be, carbon friendly and environmentally friendly than effective. So say what you want to about dropping the nukes during World War II in Japan, it shut the bastards down. That's what it did. It stopped the war and it stopped the killing of many, many, many more people. So we just don't do what's necessary today. I would not have my child in the military. I really would not. Not today. Not today. All right. So that's enough of my political rant for the day. Agree or disagree, it is what it is. And again, news is noise. So we just trade what we're seeing. And that's interesting. We were up in the NASDAQ a while ago. Now we're down 0.5%. So, the sentiment will go up, sentiment will go down. AD is negative 277. We've now got some increasing volume coming up in the red. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Overnight highs here. So we're near the overnight high in NASDAQ. Where's the overnight high here in the E-minis? We're way off of there. All right, so let's look at our big green monster, which was really amazing to see last night. You would sit here and swear that I redrew this last night. You would swear that's what I did. And I didn't. But look where how often do we see these? Why are we surprised at all that we would see the big green monster kind of catch? Now, that doesn't mean that price isn't going to just whip down after, but this is a place of support. It's a place where price has to make a decision. And we see that last night, there were several tests of this area, because what I showed you last night, I think was on a 5-minute chart. And you saw it would go up and down and up and down, up, down, up, down. And look where the low was right at y'all, our big green monster. So it's just amazing how this works. So we are fairly priced, believe it or not. We're fairly priced now. Will that hold? We shall see. We shall see. Let's look at the NASDAQ and see what's up. People probably think we're just witchcraft free on all this stuff. Went down a little bit more in NASDAQ. NASDAQ then told us that it was oversold. And sure enough, we shot back up into the fair value range. So we're fairly priced. Let's look quickly at the skew driver. Skew driver is, I probably need to figure out how to add more stuff here, add more strikes, but we just know that there is no 520 on the board. So, what is the skew driver? It's a good question. 113 is the best we get, but it's probably more like, this 132, 127 down there. So I'm not even sure. I won't even put it on the board because I really don't know what it is. Well, we'll just go with the last one that we can. We'll call it that. So we'll call it the last bidding one that we can do. That's probably the best thing we can do until we add strikes. So we'll say it's 113. We know it's at an extreme. Gosh, is it an extreme? All right. The only thing about the skew driver, and you've heard me say it before, skew driver it will normalize. There's no doubt that this will come back down to earth. Problem is the timing. We could spend a lot of time up here right before we come back down. So let's get rid of the skew driver for now. And let's just, nobody's panicking, but let's do one thing here. Let's do and look at our MES trades that I was bragging on yesterday before, all Hades broke loose. Let's look at our little trades here and see what we need to do, because we've got expiration coming up in, 4 days or so. So let's look at our micro trades and see what we need to do. Now, if you are trading the 111 trades, there is a good chance that you have some that are fully profitable. Okay, so you've got some fully profitable put debit spreads that you need to close. Why do you need to close those? Well, because they're virtually at 100% profit. So you can't get any more profit out of them. There's no need for you to keep a put debit spread open that is 100% profitable. So let's just see what we got here. Let's see what all we got. They should be profitable. I closed what earlier this morning? Okay, so it looks like there's nothing above here. All right, so let's go back down. And let's find our first one, our first candidate. See what we can do with him. So here's that loan, right? So if we were going to close that one, look at that, y'all. Unbelievable. So we would sell that one, okay? We'd sell that one. And then we would buy the 4,600. Yeah, we buy the 4,600. So it should be for what price? Anybody know? It should trade for 50. Now, with it being a spread, cleaned all my MASs this morning. Good. Green, green, green. Yeah, that's right. There's no need. I mean, it's at max profit. Remember, we sold this for whatever. The max profit on it is $50. So we need to close that. Buying power effect 0. Still got some buying power. Now, what? It probably is not going to fail. Let's see if it fails. Because it's a spread. So what you might have to do is walk it down a quarter or 50 cents. Let's see if we can do that, just to get a feel and to get out of it. Let's go down to 49.75. See if we get fill there. I just want out. There we go. So we're out of it. Everybody knows that. So we're out of that. Good. Good. Let's go and close another one. Now you say, well, Bob, what if I take it to expiration? Well, if you took that to expiration, what's going to happen is both of them are in the money. So you're going to be long a future and you're going to be short a future in the micros. No need to do that. Now, those will cancel each other out. So what happens when it cancels each other out? Well, you're not going to, because you're canceling out futures, you're not going to experience the profit that you should have had on that little position. So let's close the next one out. So now we've got a 45.90. Right, we got a 45.90. So it's a long position. So we need to sell that. And we need to buy the 45.40. Got to hold your control key down. It should be priced at $50. Now we could put it in for 50, but we know that, probably going to have to move it a quarter just to get it filled quickly. Let it work if you want to. I'm going to get out. Take your profits while you can. Bang. There we go. Nice. And let's see if we got some more that we can take off. And that's the key. And that's what I really hope that you all kind of get is there's no need to panic. No need to panic. I am in the AIM TQQQ jungle. I know what I'm up against. I know what I'm up. I told you this isn't a short-term deal. This is a long-term play. That's what we're going on. So you've got a position that's 100% profitable. You've got to take those off. All right, let's see. So there's my 45. Make sure nothing else up here. We've got a 45.30. So we got to sell that one and control key into the 45.80. Buy that one. That was only 49.50. Let's see if we get a feel there. So it's not quite. Yeah, we're out of that. 49.75. Beautiful. All right, so let's see what else we got. Isn't that crazy how it goes to the one day? I don't know. Why does it do that? Why does it think it's going to do that? Now, I told you I had a little bit of issues with the other account that's in Tastyworks. They're giving me sometimes problems closing trades that are profitable, saying I don't have the buying power to close those. So it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I don't like that. I want to make sure that I'm able to get out of my profitable positions. All right, so here we got another one. All right, so we're going to sell it because that's a long position. And that's the 44.90. So we should have one at the 44.40. Beautiful. Going to buy that one. That was at 49.25. Look at the net. Boy, those are wide, aren't they? And the cool thing is I got 4 days, so I don't have to, hurry today. Let's see if it, yeah, it filled. So we filled at 49.75. I like it. I like it a lot. So we're taking profitable trades off. Let's go back and find another one. We're just cleaning stuff up. Leaning stuff. But how are y'all doing with the psychology stuff? I just want to make sure everybody's, just taking it calmly. Taking it calm. No need to panic. If you're holding a lot of TQQQ and it's down, it's just down. That's when I'm adding more. All right. So here we go. We got a positive one here. So we would sell it. And go over here and buy it. That one is at 49. Not quite 100% profit, but I could wait a day or so. But yeah, I'm trying to just get out stuff. Just get out stuff. If it's profitable, get out of it. And another thing that we need to do is some of our naked components, we definitely don't want those expiring in the money. So at some point, we need to roll these little puppies out. So let's see what we got here. Gonna buy that one, sell that one. Okay, let me see what else we got. This one is so that one must be a total naked component, right? Naked component, 3, 4, 5. So these have 4 days on them. If I let them go to expiration and these were to expire, then I would be long 5 micro futures. Okay. You don't want to be long 5 micro futures. So what would I do? What would I do on these? And I don't have to do them all today. That's the good thing. Just take your time. So what would I do today? Well, I could roll that, right? I could roll it out a week. 42.60. Let's see, create a rolling order. Well, that was for God, look at this, y'all. Look at the spreads on some of these things. Unbelievable. Look at that. So if you put it down at the net, then you're doing a debit, right? We want to roll for a credit for sure. See if we can roll for a credit. If I can too, I always like trying to give me a better put. Right? I'd like to go maybe to a 42.55 and still pick up a credit. Let's say I could get maybe a $16 credit. Because I like to roll my put down if I can a little bit. Roll that one down. It's in the money, get it to a better, safer place where I can still take in a credit. See what that does. 0 buying power. Let's move that. Oh, it won't do it, will it? Not supported. Sell dag, blah, 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 blah. Wonder if there was no option there or something. Hold on a minute. Let me go make sure where I'm selling these to. So I should be going out to this day. Let's see if it'll let me roll. What if I went to the same strike? Same strike. Boom, boom, boom. 1875 credit, 1975 credit. God, those. See if it'll let me see that. Ah, let me do that. Order type not supported. Is order type not supported? Let's do that. What if it'll let me close it? I close it. MRP, yes, I did start investing in the IRA account that you rolled over. What did I begin with? So I did the in the IRA, I did the hedge fundy deal where I did 55% of UPRO and 45% TML. Right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebalance that quarterly. I'm basically going to just keep my neck out of it. Now, of course, got to be a little active. What I did, and it was a great idea at not necessarily at the time that I did it, but it is now, is what I did was I sold a call spread. So I use it as call on the, what I did is I sold calls on my UPRO position, which was kind of cool. Now I'm not sold any puts on the, or sold any calls on my TMF yet. Not saying I won't. Let's look. So now we're at 211 in our deltas. Taking all those put spreads up increased my deltas too much here in my micros. My theta is nice and positive, and my vega is very manageable, very manageable. So let's see what the MES is. Yeah, so we're still, I mean, if I closed all of my micros, even those short puts that are in the money, you know, yesterday I was up $3,000 in the, you know, year-to-date category here. But, you know, you could close them all if you wanted to, but I'm not necessarily that we do that. Let's see if I just can't believe it's not letting me roll it though. What am I missing, y'all? Oh, not let me roll that. Let's try something else. And we still got 4 days on it, so I don't have to.
Bobby, I had that problem once, and the only thing I could see was the underlying futures contract was not the same. Like I was rolling from a March contract based put to a June based put, and that's the only thing I could see. I don't know that that's true, but that's the only thing I could see. And other times it works fine. It also, maybe it's just it don't do calendar spreads with futures options. I don't know what their book has or doesn't have, but that's what I found out why you're having troubles.
That could be, and maybe I just need to close it and you know, manually reestablish it. And I may do that later. And again, we got 4 days on them. Yeah, so what's 4 days? That's going to be Monday, I guess, if those expire. So it's not, I mean, not like I've got to do something now. You know, but I do want you, what I do want everybody to do is to take off those contracts that are 100% positive. You know, take those off. I mean, there's no more money to be made in those. There's no reason for you to hold those open. Yeah, I'm glad you went ahead and, you know, rang the register on those as well. Right? Take the,
yes.
Yeah. So here, y'all, it was really good. So I've got 377 shares of TQs, right? And so I've got kind of a collar on here, you know, and it was a great idea doing it actually. So what I've done is I've sold 3 calls against my 377 position. And then I bought 3 puts on those. Great move, right? I mean, who knew at the time whether I should, you know, do that or not? So I'm not that concerned on my TQQ positions. I've kind of, you know, now I've got an extra 77 shares there that are not protected, but I mean, that's fine. You know, the big takeaway, and I'll take a little minute to do my breathing exercise and decide what I want to do with some of my other MES, but take those profits. Take those profits. Let's see what else we got in MES. Anything else that I mean, if we went out another, you know, at our 22 or any of those things, how profitable are they? So let's go to the top dog over here. See if there's anything we need to work out here. See what these little boogers are at. There it is. So let's sell that one. Buy the other one. No need to keep them on if they're at, that's not quite, you know, 50 or the $49 that we're going for. So we can, you know, we can leave those on, no doubt. And that's what I like about the 111 trade. That 111 trade is just a resilient trade. Oh, it's been the best trade we've had all year, right? Even though now we're going to have to roll or close and reestablish some of those in the money positions, but no need to, you know, I don't have to do it today. I still got 4 days. I can still roll those. And remember, with futures options, there is no there's never a chance that you're going to be assigned early. So nothing happens early on futures options. So, as long as I can roll those out or close and reestablish, I think we're going to be fine. So how's everybody doing? Everybody fine? Yeah, MRP. I mean, I don't want to look at I don't want to look at the net lick on my IRA that I have here because it is down. But I'm holding the position, baby. I'm going to do exactly what I wanted to do with it, and that's I wanted to run Hedge Funding's Excellent Adventure. I got in, I went in, and it's doing what it's doing. Oh heck, let's look at it. Who cares? Let's see what it's doing. Let's see. Net lick, all accounts. Let's see what's going on. I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. So we're down $1,000 today. We're down $10,000. Yeah. So that's why I don't like looking at the net lick, so to speak, because this is a long-term play for me. I'm going to try it long-term. I don't care what happens in the interim. And especially, you start looking at the net lick though, and you'll dwell on it. So I'm not dwelling on it. Look at this, y'all. I've got 2,282 shares of TMF. Thank God I do, right? It's up $1,100 today. My UPRO position, how many shares do I have? I have 1,031 positions, which reminds me of the 1031 real estate exchanges that I used to participate in all the time. Looks dumb that I'm, down $10,000 on that. But fortunately, I sold 10 calls against that. And those will, expire fully profitable tomorrow. So what will I do with these tomorrow? And I guess I'll show that tomorrow. What are we going to do with this? Well, especially when I think that we're in these times of economic uncertainty, I'm going to roll those out. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to roll those out in time, especially during these uncertain times. So that just further improves my overall cost basis on the shares that I purchased. But I just love this, right? We got at the time, a sub $100,000 account. We'll see if it ends up that way or not. But the plan is long-term, UPRO, TML. That's pretty much it. And the cool thing about this account, I don't have to do black swan hedges. I don't have to do 111 accounts. It just is what it is. And then I will complement it with reducing my cost basis on the underlying shares by selling options against it. Now look at this, y'all. I mean, I could sell 22 TMF calls as well, right? Covered calls. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see first of all what TMF is doing. Here. Let's go to our trading view. Just look at our TMF. Can I read a TMF? Sure. TMF. Wow, look at that, y'all. Look at that. All right, TMF. Let's see what TMF looks like. TMF. Wow. Hey, look, it's finally starting to. It's in a downward. It's in certainly a downward linear regression channel. It's going back toward the center though, which is kind of cool. Would I sell calls on that? I mean, it doesn't look ideal, does it, to do that? But another cool thing is if you want to increase your income, I do not have to sell 22 calls, right? I could sell 22 and be fully covered. I mean, heck, say you want to sell 5. Let's see what those look like. Now, you don't have the weekly options like we do with the UPRO and the TQQQ, but we've got 22 days, 49 days. Let's see what kind of premium we can get here. Go to about a 30% probability of being in the money. Get you $1.10. And that's kind of, let's see what if we did the 22? I always say I won't do it, and then I'll look at it and go, I kind of like bringing in this money. So you bring in what, $2,200, $2,420. It's pretty sweet, right? Sweet. So, you know, but then when you do that, you kind of limit what your TMF is here to do. Remember, since this account, we don't have TMF. What is TMF there for? TMF is for the bunker insurance. So if you start selling too many calls on that, you don't get the bunker insurance. So, you know, you're probably better. It's just my personal opinion, not selling calls against those TMF because you want those things in the event of a crash. And everybody needs to understand we have not had a crash. This is not a crash. This is a correction, not a crash. I mean, as many people are panicking and all the online proof, this is not a crash at all. Not a crash. To some people, it may feel like a crash, but you got to be calm, cool, and collected. If all of this money in all of these accounts that I have here go to zero, doesn't change my lifestyle at all. One bit. So, you know, we're doing this for the long term. Doing this for a long-term play. Perfectly happy, even though I don't necessarily want to stare at my Netflix every day, because that does kind of get you emotionally involved. No need to do that. But I really like that I sold the 10 calls. That was a great decision at the time. Now, am I always going to do this? No, I will not always sell calls, not every week. But during these periods of uncertainty, certainly will. Because I can still sell those calls. Let's see, where were those strikes at? Let's see where my UPRO strikes are at. Oh, and let me tell you what I did too in the other little account. See, what are those stripes? See what those are. Look at this. My goodness. Now it's at a 2 delta, a 1% probability of being in the money. I was at the 61.5. How much you can roll those at the same strike? Look, even at that same strike, y'all, I can bring in $600. Why would you not? Now, that's probably too far out of the money. So what we'll probably do is sell our next ones lower down. No. What is so I'm buying those back. I need to sell them farther down. What would that be? February 25th. I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. That should increase my money, right? Yeah. Sell the 50, that'd be at the money. But then you give up pretty much any upside that you have. So that's too close to the money. So we'll make that decision tomorrow. I don't have to make it today. So we'll close out of those tomorrow, or I'll let them expire. I don't normally like letting options expire, so I'll probably close them. Probably close those tomorrow, definitely, and roll those out for another 7 days. And that's what I like about the UPRO and the TQs. We get those 7-day increments. Got plenty of liquidity, so yeah, I like playing with that. Oh, and I was going to tell you MRP what I did. Remember, I had the little $3,000 other Roth IRA. I did the exact same thing in that. I did the hedge fund, the X fund venture. I kind of like that 55-45. And the other thing, if you missed it yesterday, what I did while I was on vacation, I'm so glad I didn't go into my bunker and try to overanalyze things. Only thing that I did was in my main account that I show you guys. I instead of doing 70% TQs, I went down to the 55 and did 45 TMF in that account, which now looks like a great decision. A great decision, cutting down on my TQs just a bit. And by keeping that, and that's not literally a hedge fundy account because hedge fundy is UPRO TMF, but it's similar. It's because it's TQQ and TML. The cool thing is by doing that, I don't necessarily have to focus as much on the black swan event, putting on Sweet Bobby hedges and other type hedges. I can kind of just cool and relax a little bit, which I kind of like. I'm becoming more passive as I get older. You know, the tasty trade mantra of trade small, trade often. I'm kind of liking trading small, but not as frequently. Kind of liking that. Like where I'm at in my trading and investment career. Any questions y'all got at all? I hope y'all feeling good. I mean, I hope you're feeling good. If you've not dipped into your TQQs and UPRO, what a time, man. What a time. And can you imagine in, a few years when this thing's back over 100 or 200 or whatever it goes back up to and it splits again? It's going to be good times. All right, guys, good session today. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all